It was here in Dubai in 2012 that Cityscape propelled James Doyle into the big time.
Cityscape is giving them something to catch past the 100 metres mark. Mutahadi's run to second. City Style is third, but Cityscape, a big winner. Cityscape wins the Dubai Duty Free.
His win on World Cup night brought him not just media attention, but a recognition of his talents. Those talents saw him rise to the top with Roger Charlton and ultimately resulted in him being appointed #1 jockey to Godolphin's Saeed bin Suroor. Well, James, Dubai World Cup night just a few days away. Some great rides to looking forward to. How much are you looking forward to, and how much are you excited by the upcoming weekend?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've got 5 rides on World Cup night, which is a first for me. I can't wait. It's obviously one of the world's biggest nights in racing, so the prize money on offer is amazing, and it's a night you want to be part of. So really looking forward to it.
And you're coming into World Cup night as part of a new team that you've only joined in the recent months, and you're coming here after what's been a really remarkable carnival, both yourself, for Godolphin, and for Saeed.
Yeah, no, we've lots happened in a short period of time. Obviously, not long in the new role. Since January the 1st, a lot's happened. We've had a fantastic carnival. We've had plenty of winners, and the form the team were in was pretty remarkable, really. A treble on Super Saturday, that was fantastic. And obviously a couple of trips to Australia. I went to Australia twice in 3 weeks, so that was pretty amazing. Had a good time down there. Unfortunately, no winners, but I managed to sit on a few that were placed in group races. Second in a Group 1 on Hartnell. So it's been it's breathtaking, really. Feet haven't touched the ground.
It's been a baptism of fire, really. And as you touched on the treble on Super Saturday, have there been any standout performances or standout races from the beginning of January that really stand out for you?
Yeah, African Story, I was really pleased with him the last day in the 3rd round of the Maktoum Challenge. Obviously, after his first run, it was, after a long layoff. He hadn't ran since winning the Dubai World Cup last year. He took his time to kind of adapt to the surface. He needed the run. He got very tired, so his work after his first run was quite pleasing. And it was good to see him get his act together in the 3rd round. And he battled well to the line. And I was pleased with that. It was a good performance. So it gives us a lot more confidence going into the World Cup. We were a little concerned after his first run, but no, it was good to see. Unfortunately, Hunter's Light sustained an injury. That was a terrible shame, really. He put in a mind-blowing performance on Super Saturday. He really it was a proper Group 1 performance in my book. So hopefully he can have a good time at stud.
And looking back to African Story again, given the way he'd ran the first time, albeit with mitigating circumstances, going out for his second start, was that really a fact-finding mission to see if he was going to go on the dirt with fitness on his side? Yeah,
he was obviously a lot fitter, and after not running for so long, he was a little bit ring rusty as well. So we were. I couldn't say he definitely didn't like the surface, because he travelled. It was only from 4 furlongs out that he dropped the bridle, and I didn't really have a lot of room, which wouldn't have helped either. But he showed he was on and off it slightly. He is still adapting to it, but it was a bit of a shock to the system for him. So he's experienced it twice now, so he'll be all the wiser at World Cup night.
And how much encouragement can you take from that last performance coming into the Dubai World Cup?
Yeah, it was definitely a step in the right direction. He couldn't have run any worse the first night, so it was definitely a step in the right direction. He showed he could get out and have the tactical speed early to get out of the kickback and out the hustle and bustle out the back. So it was very pleasing.
And is it going to be harder for him to perform in the way that he has done, even first and second time, against true dirt horses likes of California Chrome and Lee?
Yeah, so from looking at it, you've got like four speed horses. You've got Lee, the 2 American horses, Lee and California Chrome. You also have Long River and the Japanese horse, which is drawn in gate 2. So there'll be plenty of speed on, and I think the ideal position for us is just somewhere in behind them, and preferably on the outside, trying to kind of keep out the kickback if we can.
And are you feeling any pressure coming into World Cup night, riding last year's defending champion for your new employers in their own territory?
Yeah, obviously there's pressure to do as well as we can. but we're very realistic at the same time. You know, we have to have massive respect for the American raiders. You know, they're, albeit the dirt surface out here could be a little bit different from the American dirts, but you know, they've got the tactical speed, and you know, they've got the turn of foot in the straight, and you have to have massive respect. But we're very hopeful rather than confident.
And we've seen some great celebrations from the likes of Mikel, Barcelona, Silvestre de Sousa over the last couple of years winning that race. What would it mean in your first year riding for Sheikh Mohammed to come here and to win his big race for him?
Well, it'd be you couldn't write it, could you? You know, it would be a real, you know, it'd be a real amazing achievement. So no, fingers crossed, but no, it would be pretty amazing.
And African story aside, what the horses are you looking forward to riding on Saturday?
We have Azima in the Gold Cup, who you know, he sets a good level of form. Back in the UK, he was second in the Goodwood Cup. He won out here at the Carnival last year. He ran good. He ran good his first run of the Carnival, and I don't know what happened. His second run, he just didn't fire. I know the team weren't 100% happy with him afterwards, but he seems to be back on song. So he would be my next best ride after African Story. How
much significance is Dubai World Cup night for you? Thinking back to 3 years ago, Cityscape. Really, he was the horse that launched you onto the big stage. Yeah, well, I have Dubai to thank. You know, World Cup night to thank for definitely being a part of helping my career get back on the right track. And no, that night Cityscape one was pretty amazing, and you know, I'll never forget that night. It was really amazing. You know, to win. You know, even if you set aside the prize money would change my life at that point. But even if I set that aside, it was a special feeling. But even as a jockey, the way he performed that night, to have pushed him clear, set him alight at the bottom of the home stretch, to just see him accelerate, and you must have known you'd almost won that from a fair way out. He had everything in under pressure all the way behind. Yeah, well, he travelled quite well, and the leaders just seemed to drop away around 3 furlongs out, and we were just left in front. I knew he would kind of quicken, but when he quickened twice in the straight, you know, he quickened away to put distance away from the field, and then he quickened again after he did that. So I knew at that point, the second time he quickened, I thought it's game over. So I could kind of start enjoying it then. That was, of course, in the colours of Khalid Abdullah. You're now riding for Godolphin. How much have you been enjoying the new association? Presumably you've grown up watching racing and watching the Godolphin organisation and operation grow and expand over the last 20 years. Yeah, well, I mean, Godolphin is, for me, I think a lot of people would agree, it's the biggest racing firm in the world. You know, they have from horses in, you know, Australia to France to the States. You know, it's pretty amazing how many horses that they have under their banner, and you know, the global opportunities are fantastic. You know, I can't thank His Highness Sheikh Mohammed enough for handing me the opportunity to kind of travel around the world and experience racing globally, which, you know, it's not very often a jockey gets to do that. So no, it's been like I say, when I was in Australia, it was a great experience, and hopefully we can go to America and all around Europe. So hopefully it won't end there. And do you almost have to pinch yourself these days to realise the position you're in? Because things have happened very fast over the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah, I do, yeah. I mean, things have happened very quick. But like I've said before, you know, each step of the way, you know, I had a great grounding riding for Roger Charlton, who was a fantastic mentor. He was fantastic to ride for. I learnt a hell of a lot in my period riding for him, and hopefully I can still take up rides for him as and when I can. So I'll definitely be going down to him if I can get the chance to ride out for him. I'll definitely be going down. So yeah, it has happened thick and fast, but I think the kind of knowledge and advice Roger kind of passed on to me definitely helped. So you know, I've said it before, I can't keep pinching myself. I'll be covered in bruises, so I just have to take it in. And just looking back to last year, James, there was, I think, a great deal of surprise when the announcement was made about the decision to recruit both yourself and William, who both had very secure and good jobs back in the UK. To what extent were you surprised when the call first came through with the proposals? Well, I mean, it was surprising, but, you know, it was breathtaking at the same time. You know, it was an honour. You know, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed's royal blue colours, and the same with Prince Khalid Abdullah's, you know, his famous colours. You know, they're the teams that you want to be part of, and
you grow up wanting to put on them silks. So no, it was just, it was such an honour to be asked to ride for them, and it was a surprise, but it was an honour at the same time.
And a bold move, but you've brought both. He's brought both yourself and William Buick into the organisation, and both you and Will have been good mates. You've started out together and really grown up together. So is there a synergy between you two, riding for Godolphin and for the two different stables?
Well, it's not a one man job. Obviously, when Frankie rode for the organisation, Godolphin as a brand has grown a hell of a lot in the period of time from when it first started. So, it's definitely not a one-man job. So, it's myself and William. It's going to be a definite help that we are both very good friends and we're close. I think Godolphin, we feel, is a team. It's all about teamwork, and we want everyone to be pulling in the same direction, and we want to raise Godolphin globally, and as a team. So it's definitely a help that we're both good friends.
And looking ahead to the domestic season back home, what are your hopes and expectations? Are there certain horses you're looking forward to riding, and is there a certain race you'd love to win for Sheikh Mohammed in those Godolphin Blue Silks?
Obviously, the Derby's the main objective. That would be fantastic. It's the one race all jockeys want to add to their CV, so that would be the main target. We have plenty of nice horses. We've got so many horses. Just to pick out a couple, I'm looking forward to sitting on a horse called Best of Times, who had a couple of runs. I was pleased with him. He's done physically well, speaking to the team at home. Another horse called Elite Army. He won the King George V at Royal Ascot. He seems to be quite a nice horse. So there's a lot of horses to look forward to, but they're just a couple that I could name off the top of my head.
And with the new job in place, nice horses to look forward to. Is the champion jockeyship something you'd be looking to targeting as well? Definitely,
yeah. And I think it's something that, riding for Godolphin, obviously Godolphin is our main, that is our first port of call. We want to be at the top of our game for His Highness Sheikh Mohammed and riding his horses. That's the main objective. But still, if we're not going to take our foot off the gas and just ride for His Highness, but at the same time it will be our first port of call.